Chapter 1 Chembakassery Raja. Pullikal Chembakassery was a Namboothiri illam based at Kumaranallur village, which was a part of the Thikkumkur Principality. The principality was annexed to the erstwhile Travancore, which later merged with Cochin and Malabar to form the state of Kerala. The family, which was once wealthy, had seen a reversal in fortunes and was passing through bad times during the first half of the 17th century. A middle-aged Andarjanam Namboothiri woman and her teenage son were the only survivors in the dilapidated illam. They were finding it hard to make a living. But the Unni Namboothiri, the son, was intelligent and shrewd. He was only 18, but by then he had mastered the Vedas and the Upanishads. The other brahmacharis, Brahmin boys taking to the study of the Vedas, became jealous of him. They waited for an opportunity to get at him. One day, a group of about 500 armed soldiers came to Kumaranallur in search of refuge. They were, in fact, the defeated soldiers in the war between the King of Cochin and the King of Calicut. They had a lot of weapons with them, but not a morsel of food. It was mid-noon and they were all exhausted. Suddenly, they saw a group of brahmacharis bathing in a wayside pond, flipping water at each other. The captain approached them. "We have been starving for the last 3 days. Where can we get some food?" he asked them politely. The brahmacharis turned a deaf ear to his plea. One of them saw the Chembakassery Unni Namboothiri approaching from a distance. Suddenly, a wicked idea flashed across his mind. "Wait, look at that man. He is immensely rich. If you ask him, he will definitely help you," the brahmachari suggested with a wicked smile. The captain and his men approached the Unni Namboothiri for help. The Unni quickly realized that it was a very prank played by the brahmacharis. However, he kept his cool. He took off his Pulinnagamala and handed it over to the captain. "You may sell it and manage a lunch for your men, but don't go away after that. Please come to my illam. I will arrange a delicious supper for you." He then went his way. The captain managed to sell the necklace and buy enough rice and vegetables to feed his men. Meanwhile, he made some enquiries and collected information about the Unni Namboothiri. "He is a great soul. We should go and thank him," he said with a grateful smile. They had a bath in the wayside pond before they reported to the Unni Namboothiri. They were given a warm welcome. The captain and his men saluted the Unni Namboothiri and said, "We are privileged to accept you as our Tamburan king. We don't wish to go back. We will be happy to be at your service. I would love to oblige, but I am a poor man. How can I feed you when I myself am struggling to organize a square meal for myself and my mother? The brahmacharis were making fun of my poverty by sending you to me. However, since you have accepted me as your tamburan, I am only too happy to give my first command," the Unni Namboothiri said with a glitter in his eyes. "Yes, your majesty," the captain and his men stood alert. "Go to the illams of the brahmacharis, plunder them, confiscate everything they have, and bring the loot to me," the Unni Namboothiri gave his first command. Before nightfall, they had completed their mission and reverted to the tamburan. Chembakassery Unni Namboothiri became a wealthy man overnight. After a few days, the Unni Namboothiri approached the Thikkumkur king with a request. "I am a poor Brahmin. I live with my aging mother. We don't have a place to dwell. Have mercy on us and give me some land," he prayed. "I will grant you all the land that you can get fenced between sunrise and sunset tomorrow," the king granted. "I shall be extremely obliged if you could give me a document with your signature," the Unni Namboothiri requested. The king summoned his prime minister, Pudiyadathil Unniyathiri, and ordered him to prepare a royal grant as accorded. "Your Highness, think again, please. I feel there is something fishy about it. I strongly feel the Brahmin is not an ordinary man. Please recollect the story of Mahabali and Vamana from our mythology," the minister cautioned the king. But the king refused to heed his advice. He lost no time in signing a written document and giving it to the Unni Namboothiri. At the daybreak, the Unni Namboothiri took his word and went around outlining the entire area of the land that lay adjacent to his village. By sunset, he had fenced the land with the help of his 500-men army. The land marked by Udawal, that's the royal's word, soon became to know as Udavalur, which later came to be known as Kudamalur. The Unni Nambudiri constructed a palatial building on the land and fortress around it. He shifted to the new house along with his mother and began leading a luxurious life. His army was his strength. As his wealth increased, his esteem among the common people also increased, and they started considering him as their Kochatamburan, the prince. Pullikil Chembakassery became abridged to Chembakassery. Pullikil Chembakassery became abridged to Chembakassery. The Unni Nambudiri came to be known as Chembakassery Tamburan. Thus, the Chembakassery Nambudiris became the Chembakassery Rajas. His house came to be known as Kudamalur Madam. After a few years, he got married. Meanwhile, his army had conquered Ambalappuzha Natinpuram, another principality. Ambalappuzha is today a town situated 80 kilometers to the south of Kochim. He then shifted his residence from Kudamalur to Ambalappuzha and settled down in a house adjacent to the famous Sri Krishna temple. Thereafter, the principality came to be known as Chembakassery. Chembakassery and Kumaranallur temple. The Pullikil Chembakassery family enjoyed the trusteeship of the famous Kumaranallur Bhagavati temple near Kottayam. By looting the Nambudiris, who were also the trustees of the temple, the Unni Nambudiri had earned the displeasure of Devi. This resulted in him encountering a lot of trouble even after he became a king. In expiation, he wished to pray at Bhagavati's feet and donate an elephant to her as advised by his astrologer. But the other trustees of the temple objected. They convened a meeting and cancelled his trusteeship. They even went to the extent of burning down his mansion that stood next to the compound wall of the temple. However, he went to the temple taking the elephant along with. Though he was not given permission to enter the temple, he satisfied himself by praying at the Gopuram. He decked the elephant with a golden caparison and directed it into the Gopuram. The elephant went straight inside and knelt at the Kodimaram as if driven by some unforeseen forces. The temple authorities were astonished by the elephant's act. The chief priest welcomed the elephant with tirtham and prasadam. The gold caparison is still preserved in the storeroom of Kumaranallur Bhagavati temple with the name of Chembakassery king inscribed on it. Poradam Piranna Tamburan, the famous intellectual and scholar, was the eldest son of Chembakassery king. The regime of the Chembakassery royal family came to an end after 5 generations when Chembakassery merged with the Travancore province. Shortly after, the family became extinct. The Travancore Highness, by arranging an adoption from William Cole Inlam, revived the family. Today, the Chembakassery king is represented by Kudamalur Tekkedathu Bhattadiri, who is also a representative of the Travancore Highness. Thank you for joining me today in the mystical world of Aithihyamala. I hope this tale has left you with a sense of wonder and a curiosity to explore more. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more enchanting stories from the Kerala's cherished legacy. Thank you.